YouTube friends, once again we gather around the Gristle fire. I'm here at the open chord in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. Andy Wood country, as a matter of fact, but Andy Wood is out on the road and he will not be here tonight. But Ben Eller is going to be here. My buddy Joe Wyatt from Passion for Tone Station, and just a hell of a nice guy and a great guitar player. We stayed at his place last night out on the lake. It was glorious. I had a day off yesterday. Nashville was great. We had a good old time at the City Winery in Nashville. My buddy Guthrie Trapp came out. Brett Papa came out. Mike Seal came out. It was very, very nice. His wife Megan, who plays in Larkin Poe, she was out. Ford Thurston was out. We had an excellent time. And anyway, I got my new case. My old case was past its freshness date, so I've got an orange version of it now. It's the same kind of case. It's made by, there goes Dylan. He's causing trouble. It's a, here's the cover of it. And that's the company. It is Scott Dixon Flying Scout. And I had it stashed in Nashville until I could retrieve it. And now I have it. So the biggest joy about that is that the wheels on my old one were past their freshness date. You were just more dragging it around than actually wheeling it around. So that was glorious. So this is a smaller stage here. So we share drum kits and bass rigs. So Toby has a bass rig that he runs his top keyboard through. We go over there. So he's got a little creature on top there. That's the official Toby Lee Marshall sticker, which is pretty doggone awesome. So this is his chopped C2, and then this is his SK Pro that he goes out of that into a bass rig over there. So usually he has his Aguilar, but he does not have it this day because there's limited room on stage. So we're sharing drum set, sharing bass rig. But I bring in my rig because I end up sitting in with the boys. So I've got my Koch Monster deployed. There's Mr. Telly. Those are my three Reverends primed and ready for battle. I keep the Reverends in the road case. I bring the Telly with me wherever I go. Obviously, it's a little more of a pricey piece. So therefore, I am always stashing it in an appropriate place, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's go over to Merchland here. We're just going to go a little search through the club here. Open Chord, the name of the establishment. Here are some music friends. Say hello to our friends online. They're not saying shit. We couldn't get Jeff to speak. That's the road manager. He's filled with a sense of thirst. What? We have our materials here. I just got restocked with Koch Nest Monsters as well as little heat pedals. I'm all out of Gristle Kings. I got some picks. I got some of my Hal Leonard books. We got some beanies. We got a selection of the CDs. We got stickers. We got the Gristle Vault. Don't forget to sign up for the Gristle Vault. Free content, y'all. And then I do have 4 more Gristle ST guitars. They've been selling like hotcakes. We got a brand new shipment of the Koch Marshall Trio shirts. Sorry, I get excited about the merch. I get very excited about the merch because the merch makes the music happen. This is the case we like to call Old Blue. In Old Blue, we got a variety of things. We've got our official Gristle capos. Can you dig it? A variety of markers. Things that keep the machine of rock running, ladies and gentlemen. There's the stage from afar. I'd imagine there'll probably be about 300 people here tonight. And that'll be good, clean fun. There is a dressing room back here, but the dressing room, if we listen, Paul's teaching some lessons in there. He does 2 lessons a night. And there's a bathroom. The bathroom's closed because I wanted to show you the giant visage of my buddy Andy Wood in the bathroom. It's a little unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
Because as much as I like Andy, I don't want him looking at my wiener when I'm going pee. Am I right? It's a little off-putting. This is where we used to do the merch over here, but we've got a brand new station over yonder. Say hello to the people.
What's up, man?
And This is where Terry conducts business for Paul Gilbert. Now Jeff is ready to talk.
Hello.
Jeff is tour manager extraordinary, former guitar tech to one John Dawson Winter.
That's right.
For many years, he traveled around with Johnny Winter, the mightiest of winters. Well, Edgar's a mighty winter too, we should say.
He is. He is.
So they're both mighty winters.
Yeah.
I like it. How many years did you do that?
I think it was about 10 years.
Now, I guess the question that everyone has is, at any point, did you have an opportunity to teabag any of those Firebirds?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew Jeff was the kind to say, guess what, Johnny?
I used to sleep with him next to my bed.
Well, there you go. And sometimes you just you couldn't resist going a little dabble, do you?
Because touring is lonely. It's a lonely business.
It is. And we should say that we both have skull rings,
right.
Uniting.
Yes. My man.
Because when you're on the road, nothing soothes the savage soul like a mighty skull ring, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I'm wearing my Brewers hat. I don't want to give you the illusion that I'm a huge baseball fan, but I am a fair weather fan. And when they went to the playoffs last year and I saw this hat, I said, you know what? That's the coolest fucking hat I've ever seen. And my wife, because she rules, got one for me. So I feel compelled to show the colors of my hometown, Milwaukee, by sporting my Brewers hat. But if people come to me, hey, what do you think about, the outfit? I couldn't name one player right now, other than Christian Yelich. That's all I know. So, sorry, fair weather fan. But, once I enjoy going to the games. I enjoy them when they're playoffs. I'm all in. Other than that, I'm just a rock and roll pig. There's a Gristle missile is parked out yonder there. The load in here is particularly vexing. It was causing Toby to use a variety of swear words, and it takes a lot to get a rise out of our friend Toby. But he's like, God damn it. How am I supposed to get this massive organ over the lip? All of that sounded weird. But you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to go and probably get some foods at this juncture in time. There's a great hullabaloo online about Fender musical instruments. And I did a little interview with my buddy Joe Wyatt earlier today for his YouTube channel, Passion for Tone, which I encourage you if you're a guitar fanatic. Check out Joe's stuff because he's an excellent player and he knows gear. He knows amps like it's crazy. He's got a ton of amps. He does really good demos and he's a cool cat. Anywho, we were talking about the whole Fender thing, and all I have to say about it, folks, is corporations in regard to music and really everything, they're all about what one thing do they all want more than anything else? To make the maximum amount of money for their shareholders. Sometimes these entities have checks and balances so they're not completely bloodthirsty mutants. And other of them have leaders that have somewhat of a sense of integrity. Usually that means if their name is still on the product they developed, there's a little bit of a boom, 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 boom. That's a heartbeat. And I also mean a soul, right? So when a company, I think if it wasn't the music industry and it was just some kind of a corporation doing what corporations do, they do horrible things all the time. Not that I'm saying all corporations are evil, but they're psychotic in the fact that their number one goal is what? To make the maximum amount of money for their shareholders, everything else be damned, right? But that doesn't quite work in the music industry because it is not I should say it's not a cutthroat industry, but it is definitely the kind of industry where that kind of shit ain't gonna fly. So as a result of them pulling this thing, of them trying to make everybody cease and desist, making Strat type bodies with the flimsiest legal loophole, the fact that the other people didn't show up to court, it's just stupid. But that kind of sleazy activity goes on in the corporate world all the damn time. So that's why these probably, the people who are running Fender now are not musicians. They're, CEOs that are probably from, God knows why. One time it was a guy from Bed Bath & Beyond or whoever the case may be. Not to say that there aren't some great people still working at Fender. They are, right? But the whole activity as far as what they're doing, and as far as now everyone's saying they don't make decent guitars. Listen, I've probably played more or as many Fender custom shop guitars as anyone on the planet because of my affiliation with Wildwood Guitars. I've played thousands and thousands. Other than somebody working on the assembly line, I've probably played the most of them, or at least definitely tied with somebody. And I'm here to tell you that they do arrive in various states of playability. And there's a lot of times where on a Wildwood video, I will swear vehemently, like, you're charging how much for this instrument and it arrives in this condition? It's horseshit. But that's because the hubris of a brand like Fender and a hubris of a brand like, all the big brands, they are more of a lifestyle brand than they are a musical instrument company. They don't care about the players per se. They care about what? Making money for their shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, the hubris they have is they can make guitars in various states of quality, and there have been some fucking stellar guitars I've played from them. But a lot of times they arrive at a store and they need work. So a lot of times when I play them out of the case, man, it's a little challenging. But once the people from Wildwood or whatever store they're sent to get done working their magic and sending it out to their end user, they're usually in pretty goddamn good shape. A company like Reverend, who I'm affiliated with, or any number of these boutique brands, they don't have the legacy brand name that Fender does, so they can't afford to pull that shit. So they got to make sure that those instruments are of the utmost quality and that they are made coming out of the box to be played in a way where you're like, holy shit, this thing is badass. So what am I saying about all this? I have absolutely no idea, other than, are you really surprised that they would do something like this? All of these brands, they have long since, they don't care about, all they care about is making dough for the most part. They feign that it's, it's all about the music and it's all about authenticity. They don't give a shit about authenticity unless it's making money for their shareholders. And that's that's just the way it is. When I was affiliated with Fender and Bill Schultz was involved, he was taking that company back from the precipice. But again, the main goal was to make dough, but there was a lot of great people there and a lot of people that were motivated by Bill because he was such an excellent character. And it brought the company back from the precipice and really made it be what it, towards what it is today, which is this mega brand. But, as far as them having any traction with this, I find it very hard to believe that they're going to be able to. They got all the money in the world kind of to go back, but once they start retrying a case that's already been won years ago, it's not going to go well. And all the bad weather, all they can do now at this point in time is to come out and say, we're sorry, that was weird, and and then maybe people will forgive and forget. But, and again, there's a lot of good people still working there. They do make decent guitars, but there's a lot of other people making S-style guitars, T-style guitars that are better made for less money. And there's a quality of people who are really players. They want to find an instrument that's sussed out to the nines, that are more conducive to the rigors of professional musicianship. Some of these boutique builders are definitely a better home. And if Fender would just, accommodate the fact that, hey, we're going to make we're going to make tools for musicians who are real musicians who are out there doing it and have a quality that maybe they wouldn't need to go to another boutique maker. But anyway, whatever you want to say. I've talked enough about it and I'm bored. So the bottom line is that I'm seeing a lot of hate on the Fender thing. Fender as a company was very, very good to me for a long time. A lot of those people are gone now. There's a few people that still work there, but they have nothing to do with the levers of power. A few of them do. But, and they, there's a bunch of great people who are like Telecaster icons and Strat players who have gone elsewhere, because part of the routine of making a living as a musician these days, if you're, quote unquote, under the radar, you're not a massive legacy artist or a current pop star, you're someone who's just eking out a living by making music, you have to make deals with other manufacturers who make instruments that you want, that have the specifications you want, and also give you an opportunity to have that be a spigot of income. Spigot of income. In other words, Fender doesn't give a shit about, at this particular point in time, under the radar people they're not so under the radar. Players know who they are, and they have a I shouldn't say just Fender, most musical big companies like that, unless you're the young hot thing or a legacy person, if you fit anywhere in the middle strata, who are really the people who are paying the bills through playing their instruments, they really just don't give a shit. Because why? They want to make money for their shareholders, and they perceive that they have to be able to say, well, so-and-so has a gajillion followers. That's another thing, too. Just because you have a gajillion followers doesn't really... I'm glad people are enjoying the content and that those people are able to make a living, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're an absolute authority on anything other than digital marketing. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, folks, I'm going to cut out. Great hanging with you today. Check out the website for details. We're headed south from here. We're going to Florida. We got Alabama. We have a New Orleans stop, Louisiana, and then we'll be in Texas. So check out gregkoch.com for those deeds. Adios. Bye.